So if you're here, you probably know that we were on Shark Tank India season 5 and it has been a crazy journey. Ever since the episode went live, we have been flooded with number of questions around how was the experience, how did you even get on Shark Tank, how's the investment experience like, and then like several other questions. So I just thought of putting all of these together in a compilation. There would be a lot of key takeaways that I had in this journey and some pointers which I haven't even made public, by the way. It's crazy I haven't revealed these numbers anywhere, but well, that's why I'm making this video. So let's get started. So Vryse is an AI optimization platform. We help brands optimize their visibility for LLM models like ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity. Put it in simple terms, we are SEO for LLM models. The new user search journey is basically like people start searching for new products, experiences or services on AI models. So we help brands optimize their website, content and other strategy to start showing up there so that they can bring revenue, traffic and business from there. We just filled the application form. I know you must probably be expecting like a network or something of that sort, but no. Funnily enough, on the last day, almost towards the end of the application window, one of my friends late at night said that, hey, you should probably just try filling this form. I was really hesitant, to be honest, because Shark Tank, from what I understood, was like a D2C platform where a lot of consumer brands showed up. That also made sense for the format of the show it was and for the audience that it was catered towards. I really did not expect a tech AI company to even be shortlisted. But anyways, I just thought like, let's take a chance, like what's gonna go wrong. So I filled that form. As I expected, the form had a lot of questions pertaining to what would be relevant for a D2C brand. EBITDA, customer acquisition costs, net margins, net profits, so on and so forth. Like how much do I spend in ads? So all of these questions do not really make sense for an year-old company. So I just decided to fill in the data that I had and left other things which did not apply blank, and like obviously forgot about the application. I did not think about it. I just thought like it's a shot in the dark. Couple of months down the line, I was amazed. I got an email that said that you're selected for the next phase of the whole process, and that's when I think stuff started to sink in that okay, it's starting to get a little more serious. In this phase of the application, we had to add a video, a product demo explaining what and how we will pitch, and a little more details about numbers and going further down in the numbers and revenue side of things. So whatever I had available, I created a small pitch about what the product does and I submitted this, and again naturally forgot about it because again did not really have a lot of hopes, but this time I tried it a little more seriously. Then again, I think a couple of months down the line, I suddenly received a mail that you are shortlisted for the auditions, which was then supposed to happen in Mumbai, and I was like panicking and excited at the same time. Honest reaction was, is this a mistake? Many a times it happens that in the application process, sometimes mails get sent in a wrong order or to wrong people, and I was like, oh, is this probably a mistake? And I was waiting that maybe they'll just say that okay, this was intended, not intended for you, or is it for this mistake? But we were shortlisted for auditions, and then we did show up in Mumbai, and we presented whatever we had. There was like a hour-and-a-half long grilling session of revenues. How did this idea come from? What is my background like? What is the team size? What are the revenues? What are the customers? Everything in and out. For the people who probably think that you can just fake data and go to Shark Tank, no, that's not possible. There are proper qualified accountants and people at every stage that will ask for every document and claim that you made. Anything that you say in the pitch, you need to prove it. That was what the audition phase was. I was like really nervous, like what's going to happen next? Would I qualify for the next stage or not? But after a month, I got invitation for the shoot. We did that, and then we went on to air. So that was the whole process like. To be very honest, I have just paid like 0 rupees to go through the entire process. Everything was done by them. The shoot, any coordination from their team, document verification, everything is something that they take care of. You absolutely just need to have like a good business and like fill out that form. The entire process would be taken care of by them. And throughout the process, I absolutely haven't paid for anything apart from, let's say, my outfits or anything that was needed for demo. Well, it's not as simple as it looks on the show. You get a representational check. This is the check that I was talking about. A very great memory. I'm probably going to frame it. What is more interesting is look what Anupam has written on the back. After the episode is done and the shoot is done, the Shark Tank team connects you with the investment team of the shark, and a process of due diligence starts. There is limited time during the pitch and shoot. Whatever you tell to the sharks, they take it at face value, but all of the claims that you make in the pitch and during the shoot need to be very thoroughly verified. After the pitch is done and is thoroughly verified. So if you're planning to go and just say anything that's not going to work, you need to have any word that comes out of your mouth that is data, claim or fact need to have some backing, and you need to show proofs and paperwork for that. We are in that due diligence phase. You guys see like approximately 15 to 20 minutes of episode that goes out on TV, but in real the whole discussion took roughly an hour. A lot of people get shocked when they hear that. It goes through everything like your personal life, the financials, what kind of clients you're working with, what are your customer profile like, so on and so forth. So it was a very detailed, intense discussion in the tank. By the way, it's uninterrupted. You do not hear anybody saying cut, retake. It's completely raw, unscripted, 1 hour of discussion where sharks really evaluate if they really do want to invest in the business or not. Well, to be honest, they never tell you. You just never know if you're going to go live or even going to go to the next phase. The team never discloses what status your application is on. In my scenario, I came to know when my clip, the teaser, went live on the Instagram page of Shark Tank India. I was like very frequently scrolling through the Instagram page and always refreshing, seeing like which one is the next page, which one is the next page. And suddenly one evening I find out that I am just walking in and that's my teaser. Ever since then, the response was crazy. Like it all started and I could not believe that this is real. Like this is really happening. As soon as the teaser went live, a lot of my friends, family saw the Instagram started to bombard with, oh, hey, this is you. Like, are you going? And like, when is your episode going live? Yeah, you really never know if your episode is going to go live or when. It's crazy. I haven't revealed these numbers anywhere, but well, that's why I'm making this video. And actually, it was crazy. The night when we went on national television, we had roughly 12,000 people visit our website within 24 hours from when the episode went live. Till date, we have roughly 1,200 companies that have submitted their interest to work with us or to try out our products. We are in demo calls day in and day out. These are like obviously not very great numbers from B2C point of view, but we are a B2B company. For us, it's unheard of numbers to number of people to visit us within a day. Shark Tank is a global concept. Every country, there are multiple phases, and even if this is in Hindi, Indians are present all around the globe. Due to that, we had demand coming from Australia, US, Canada, UK, Dubai. We had global interest of people willing to try out our product. So much so that we once in a sales call with a Dubai-based company, and they just mentioned that, hey, a director heard about you from somewhere and they wanted us to talk to you. The amount of reach and the amount of people you get out and reach to is something that you would probably never be able to do through your in-house team or through your outbound efforts at any scale. We have been receiving interest from brands, such big brands which I could never imagine working with. These are like legacy Indian brands, big listed companies is what I'm talking about here. Inbound demand from them to trying to test our products, and this was possible because again, the directors of these companies or CMOs of these companies stumbled upon this episode and just asked their marketing heads that you need to really check what these folks are doing. We are still trying to keep up with the demand. We are in sales calls day in and day out, and which is also why this video got parked for so long. Like this was supposed to go out in Feb. Now I'm recording this in March and I'm not sure when it's going to go live. But yeah, you naturally hear from people who have probably never spoken to. They would get back to you, wish you congratulations, which is good. A lot of my relatives or family friends have my number directly. They have my parents' number. They were on calls for 2 continuous days. They had been receiving calls from family, friends, relatives, wishing them congratulations.
गमीज के सजेशंस मांगता है तो वो उन्हें ये ब्रांड सजेस्ट करता है। एआई की लिस्ट पे सबसे ऊपर हो।
दिखाइए किया कि नहीं आपने अभी तक?
नहीं। पैसे लगेंगे भाई। ताकि ब्रांड अवेयरनेस और सेल्स दोनों रॉकेट हो। आज मैं आशीष पुणे से आपका साथ और 2% इक्विटी मांगने आया हूँ। इन्वेस्ट कीजिए शार्क्स because together we rise.
Yeah, and while you get all of this, there's always hate as well, right? And you cannot do much about it because there is demand and there's a crazy influx that we are tackling. We're trying to get back to every company that we can confidently feel that can be helped and can really be benefited from the product that we have. But at the same time, there will always be things that will break. And as a founder, you need to accept that and move on. And there's on the other side, there's always people who have been telling us this is very easy. You don't deserve to be there. You just kind of try to live with it. And I feel every critique critiques should be accepted. You should know what the general sentiment is and pick what can be learned and just move ahead. But it was overall a very, very great experience. To be very honest, I did not want to start a company. It evolved into one. I started my entrepreneurship journey when I was 21 years old from my college dorm. I was pursuing BTech in computer science from IIIT Delhi. Those who know, IIIT follows a very rigorous curriculum and you barely have time to even pursue anything that you like, let alone building a whole company. I did like a couple of internships, learned about this industry and was in marketing for some time. But when I graduated college, I decided to pick this up full time, and that's when I registered the company, named it Vryse. We were like a normal agency. Then I realized this AI boom, people really trying to get on these AI platforms, and I realized, okay, I can do something there and can actually build something that could be helpful to the people. So I just started building some rough MVPs, rough prototypes, tested it out with some of our existing agency clients, and that worked out really well. From there, the whole product was born, and then the Shark Tank journey started. In fact, it's funny, it's not even been 2 years since I graduated. Everything happened in a very short amount of time. The company building process itself started in third year when I started taking my first freelance projects, reaching out to companies, offering to help them. That is how the whole journey has been. I think the barrier to entry of starting anything is the lowest than it has ever been. You could build anything that you want. I think one of the most essential skills that you should gain before starting out anything is the ability to sell. You can build, you can have a great product, but if you're not able to sell, it's not going to take you anywhere. Especially in a B2B context, when you directly talk to people and build relationships, the ability to sell is what has brought us so far, I would say. Then even if you want to go ahead and start something of your own, I would say try to understand what is it that you're really good at. What is your edge exactly? It could be tech, it could be marketing, or like several other industries. That should be your first step. Find out one thing that you're really good at, that better than 99% people. If not, find out and craft one of those skills. Your second step is going to be narrow down exact customer audience. Don't be like, I'll develop websites, I know how to create cool websites, and I'm just going to go and message every business. No, that's absolutely not going to work. Let's say you learned to make websites. You then figure out who exactly do you want to be your target market or customer to be. So let's say you decide that I make really good websites, but I'm going to make these websites for, let's say, VCs, venture capital funds, and you reach out to a couple of them, make a portfolio, and you know now ins and out of that industry, like what are these people expecting, how do they want to portray themselves online. You get all of that information. Now you're not just a web developer, you are a web developer who understands what a VC's website should portray or communicate. Now that skill is something where you can charge 10x the price and people will give it to you. So one, gather the skill, be better than 99% people, narrow down your audience to the core, know whom you're selling, and third is just build the whole narrative around it and start reaching out to people. One thing that I say to people who are really clueless on where to get started is like, once you have 1 and 2 sorted out, create a schedule and be consistent. You can have 1 and 2 hours of a day just dedicated to reaching out to people, pitching them what you're about to sell. That's what I did in the early days of Vryse. I would just message 45 minutes of my day. I would just message to people on LinkedIn that, hey, this is what I do, this is what I've done for some other companies, do you want to try out? That was the whole pitch, and I kept on doing it. Week 1 you'll not hear something, week 2 you'll not hear anything, probably 1 month you'll not hear anything, but then soon after that you'll get one message. And these people that you've added in the connection request, once you've done something for that one person who replied, they'd also slowly start getting back to you, and that is how the whole thing compounds. And one very relevant example of this is also going to be that ever since Shark Tank happened, I have started to hear back from people who I reached out back in 2022 or 2023 when I was in college. After they heard my whole pitch and episode that went live, they reached back like, hey, I've been connected for some time, would like to explore, right? So the compounding effect of networking is very real, and sooner or later you'll realize, oh, you probably now need a team, you probably now need a company. I think that is going to be the best way if you want to start something of your own. Yeah, so I think the choosing entrepreneurship over a traditional path of placement, I think was worth it for me. I would also at the same time would like to say there's also a good amount of luck that gets played here. I was at a position when at the final year of my college where I realized and I could take a bet on myself. I am making good amount of revenue and I saw a clear path of how I could scale it, because I did that figuring out part 2 years in the college where I could just figure out and be confident on myself. So it turned out well for me. I'm proud of how it panned out. But for somebody, I would not say that you should make entrepreneurship your goal without knowing the hard sides of it. You should never dive into it when you don't have a plan. People glamorize this saying that, okay, you can just dive in, we'll figure out there's going to be a lot of uncertainty. There is always going to be a lot of uncertainty, but even then, you need a plan. Even amongst all uncertainty, you need a plan. It pan out well for where we are right now. For anybody who's trying to try out, always have a solid plan at hand. This is all that we had planned for this video. We tried to cover all the high level questions that were frequently asked. I hope this helps you some or the other way in your journey of building. I plan to keep doing this and document a little more of how my journey is going forward as I continue to build Vryse. If you have any other questions which you feel wasn't answered in this video, feel free to drop in the comments. And I think that is all that I had for now, and thanks for watching.